man, I was just talking about who got short for
long here.
Wow. We are talking.
That was a 200-point rip. Just for no reason.
Nice catch there, Jay. There's a lot going on right now. We got to stay locked in. 3,300 evens, 3,295 printed in the gold.
What was the news?
It just got very thin on the ladder in the ES. Very ladder in the NASDAQ. We were back to looking like the ladder from like 2-3 weeks ago. And we are back to 19,000 in the NASDAQ. Holy moly.
Tried a quick long there in the ES. Got stopped out really quick.
PMI numbers got leaked out early?
Mark it in, mark it out, Jay.
Something like that. Yep. No, I got in. Got stopped out really quick. Quick down 400, but I'm okay with that.
That's
daily
cool.
loss limit for the day is more than that, but I want to get long here.
Okay, so now what do we do?
Dropped about 13 bips since the close in the 10-year. We're back below the happy place, 4.27%.
You ever had LaCroix? LaCroix?
People are liking this news.
Same thing. Yeah,
message
headline.
piece.
Headline, Wall Street.
I'm long 2 MES again. 67 quarter.
I think mine's good.
Good, Jay.
67 quarter.
We got news here in 5 minutes.
67 quarter.
Looking for a test of 5,500. Here.
67.
Another important level that's roughly in the area here in the ES. Roughly meaning we have a lot of range each day.
Yeah.
Look at my charts real quick. We're within shouting. This yellow line right here is the Liberation
it's funny because we talked about. We were like, you know what's going to happen today? We're going to get those 100-point candles.
Go around.
Well, we got the 100-point candles, chat. We fucking got them.
570 somewhere around there would be a complete retracement of that.
What an insane day.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm looking for on this trade.
Damn.
More comments coming from Wall Street Journal. White House considering that slashing China tariffs. Escalate trade war.
I'm pretty sure. I can't tell. I think
information on
trade debate is lagging right now.
Wide awake right now. 54.71, 54.6. It is very, very thin. Ladder basically just vanished on us on that one. They just pull all the offers. Is that what it was? Or was there actual buying?
I think it's off a little bit
in there as well.
There was some buying in here.
5 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
All right, cool. 54.76.
Everything
Push
is
along
lagging.
from 67 quarter.
Everything is lagging right now.
NASDAQ trying to buy it up again here. 19,004. I don't even know if they're trying to buy it. They're just pulling offers. It is very, very thin. We need some cybersecurity up in here. Something's happening.
Something's happening.
Cybersecurity.
Bissett and Lutnick are back on Powell's Christmas card list. Trump decided not to fire Powell after Bissett and Lutnick raised concerns. It's also coming from the Wall Street Journal.
Crazy.
And good morning, Wall Street Journal.
Good morning, Wall Street Journal. 73% long ES right now. Average price 54.61. Last trade 54.75. 76 is now trade.
Right at the top of the 5 minutes, so like 19.
On the tilt in the NASDAQ. We got a number in 3 minutes. This is off to a wild start already. Eddie, you got another hot biscuit here. I'm seeing what's this one?
U.S. eyes 35% for items not deemed national security threat. Wall Street Journal.
Just throwing numbers at the wall. I like this. This is going to be a hell of a trade.
I'll pray for you. I will pray for you, my friend. I don't know. If you buy, I will pray for you.
I think if I'm wrong, but Trump can't fire Powell anyway.
That is by far for me one of the hardest things, though, with trading is patience.
Yeah. Stranger things happen.
Yeah. Strategic interest. Yeah, they're coming with the hot biscuits here today, folks.
More?
What's your biggest struggle, you think?
We got more. Damn, Eddie. Okay, yeah, keep it coming, Eddie.
I mean, I still struggle. We all struggle with patience.
Got about minute 30 here on our number, too. Boy,
there was your dip.
There's
your dip. There's your rip.
Wow.
Didn't take it.
I took that off for scratch. I was just going to see if
we got news coming out here at 9:45.
Again,
an absolute massive
I'm okay losing money
Just
buying
had
this
an
market
absolute
today.
fucking
If things are
massive boner
coming out.
candle.
Right, Dre?
All of a
Let
sudden,
me ask you on
you're
that one,
talking
Jay. You're
about
one
maybe
from
shorting down there at the lows,
67
and the
quarter. We
NASDAQ
did get up to
just ripped up.
76s.
Yep.
200
News
points.
driven like
You gotta
market
love
like
it.
this.
You gotta fucking love it,
Do you
man.
really have price?
It
Do you
is
really have a
something
price
else to
target,
watch.
profit target, or is
Higher.
higher? How much higher? I guess. The question. We're 10 points higher.
55.23.
I got to challenge you on
I'm
that.
looking for a-
Psychiatrists struggle with
Go ahead.
patience.
How can you get
Well,
you have
that's
a
true.
price target?
You make a good point.
We just
You
saw
make a
the
good
news
point.
hit that and pretty much throws everything monkey wrench in all
Even
of it.
those psychiatrists.
You got a price target until the next headline hits.
Right.
What?
So if my thought process is if the headlines are positive, then we trade to technical levels that we have. Right. So the upper technical level that I have right here is 55.23. The reason I'm out of that trade right now is because I'm not seeing the follow through yet. Right. So we see the initial reaction.
Coulda,
it's
shoulda,
buying
woulda. You got a minute here till the
to whatever
news.
that headline
Hindsight,
was. I'm not focused too much on what the headline is, but just the reaction to it was positive. We'll see if we push. So we do have some orders sitting up here at 5,500s as well.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Good stuff, Jay. Take the profit, Jay.
I had about $100.
S&P service PMI, they're looking at 52.6, coming in at 54.4. Manufacturing PMI, they were looking at 49, coming in at 50.7.
All right, we got this news coming out here. 9:45 news.
52 coming in at 51.2. Another thing I want to make sure that we are aware of. China's Foreign Minister Wang says that China supports
NASDAQ.
Iran's nuclear talks with the U.S. So watch crude here. I think we might see some
People
movement in
asking
crude.
for a gap
Also,
fill in the chat today. I mean,
that's what I've got. Back to you, Andre.
Nice.
Awesome. Good stuff.
I feel like we'd have
I'll
to
keep it on the
something
crude last
really
trade there.
drastic would have to happen.
$63.58 now.
Trump would have to post that he's no longer going
Well,
to
here-
do.
I'm long again.
Be nice to
I'm
China.
long again from 80. Just looking for some continuation volume here. I'm with micros, taking this with micros. I'm okay taking a couple
Yes,
paper
right
cuts.
now. By the way, Apex
Just looking for this
90% off.
continuation.
Use the code PW. You know how we do. All right, we're just sitting back here waiting, watching.
Did make a high on that headline at
I don't know.
54.96.
It is,
Jack, have you been able to see what exactly the tape bomb
Wild
was?
markets here. We got
If
our
you're locked in, stay
good
locked in.
friend
We can
here
look at that
just
later.
waiting for a
Yeah,
market
I mean,
move.
it was just a news bomb. I'm sure it was out of
Fucking
those headlines that we read on Financial Juice. So just your run-of-the-mill tape bomb.
Just run of the mill. Oh, what does run of the mill mean these days, Jack? What is it?
I mean, maybe if we get
Andre,
above
did you know we were
19,100, then we
88%
kind
long
of
this
get
morning?
30, 40 points to the upside up into that
Yesterday, too, were
resistance.
we?
But
yeah, we got
83 or 84 yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
We were long the opening range trade. That was up there. And for the last 2 months,
you got
it's
your
just been
15-minute range set
been a
now.
really important thing to notice when everybody's long crude, you're going to get a pullback.
Interesting.
15-minute
Oh,
range high is
question.
pretty much like right there,
Inverse correlation
19,000
between gold and equities. Is that
112s.
still on?
We got
Haven't
more
looked at the
news coming out
matrix,
here at
but
10
it seems
o'clock
to be
as
the
well.
theme
10 o'clock
last couple
news.
days. Can we kind of go
home
off of that?
sales.
Is there something we can perhaps trade off? Leader and laggard. Gold goes down, equities go up.
Well, gold has always been, one of the best store of value. So when there's a lot of fear in the market, people are taking money out of stocks and putting it in safer.
NASDAQ, it's the
instruments
easiest,
like
hardest
bonds.
way.
Gold has typically
Trading the
been one
NASDAQ
of
is the
flight
easiest,
qualities.
hardest way to make money in the world.
But I think
'Cause
gold is
I
in
mean,
a
it can be
particular
real easy,
situation right
like
now.
it can be
because
real easy.
We just got
But,
too long up there.
Well,
Challenging.
You know,
right
and
now, it's just like you don't know. What
When
to
you
do
say
half the
too
time.
long, it's all in.
well, because
the
you look
time
at
frames
these
that
big
are long.
moves and you get the FOMO because you're like, oh
and
man, I
the
could have made
shorter
look at all that
time
money I
frames,
could have made
weaker
off
hands,
I
medium
could have made so
time
much money, and
traders.
then
We're finally all in. On the long
realistically,
side
you're
up
like,
there,
well,
and it just didn't have any.
I could have also
left.
lost a lot of money.
So there's kind of a particular.
But it's easy to get
situation
focused
that's
on
in
the
now
idea that hey,
because
look how much money we could have
I
made.
think the general market was too long up there, and now we're starting
it's
to
hard,
see
man.
equities,
Like,
seeing some buoyancy.
hindsight
So
right there at
there's
that
a
19,007
kind of a
level,
1-2
right?
punch
But-
Yeah.
on gold right now. So I think we're going to probably see some continuation moves to the
It's always funny too,
downside
like when it
in gold.
does something,
Love to
does like
see
a
that
crazy
three-
rip up,
three
and then
down
it starts
days
just to like
in
kind
a
of chop
trend
around and
that will
consolidate. After that, you're like, oh,
Buyers
okay.
come back in on it
Yeah.
after that. But
Now
it's
we
not
go
just
nowhere.
myself.
it's not just economics that has created this big thing, this big rally in gold. We've got a lot of foreign banks that have just been buying gold, buying gold, buying gold, buying gold. It just needs a pullback.
Well, we're getting it right now. We also what's
There we are.
Yes, we are. Take a look at the gold. We're beneath 3,300, 32.94 last trade in gold.
All right.
Yes,
opening range
pumping higher
high
here.
so far, 19,112. Opening range
about 10
high
points off the highs
here
there.
on the NASDAQ.
NASDAQ. Buyers coming back in, 19,074 off that headline. We topped out at 19,112, so about 40 points to
After
go.
that,
to
we
get
got
back
some
up
resistance back there in April,
there.
that 145 up there to the 250 area.
I believe they were in the money as we continue to pump higher here. Jay, you're still looking for 53.22 upside?
Yep.
50.
Yeah.
Sorry, 522.
Yeah.
Just kind of holding up here for now at the
55.22.
top of this kind of range.
At 5,500 here, we got about 500 contracts. Not seeing a lot on the books in the NASDAQ at 19,100. I am going to put in a bid at 74 and 70. My stop is at 64 right now. If we get a pullback to 74, I'm going to add one, and then I'll add another one at 70. Get stopped out of the full position at 64.
Matt, kind of pushing for that
Excellent. All right, gold
opening
still selling
range
off here.
breakout.
We have percent speaking top of the hour. We've got numbers coming to the
We'll
top
get
of
denied
the
there
hour.
again. That 150 area kind of
11
Points out
minutes.
the most
to the upside there.
tariff-sensitive stock in the Mag 7. Amazon up 7.5%. You want the
up.
bull vibes?
Above that,
Tesla
too.
is up 3.5%.
So we'll see.
This is the same
Got about 11
Tesla
minutes
that
still
had
till this
earnings
news comes out,
yesterday
10
that
minutes.
announced a 71% decrease in net income, which normally wouldn't be good, but the
Biggest
macro
win
news
this.
prevails.
Tesla down 44% on the year.
Do y'all
something
do the
like
Boca
that.
Bash every year?
I didn't have my boat. I didn't have my boat last year.
Yeah,
but
they
we're
were
doing
pumped
it
to
this
unreasonable
year.
levels, though.
Oh, that's so the boat's new. I didn't know it was that new.
Yeah, I had another boat that I sold, and we were like in between
yeah,
boats
don't
right
get
when
it.
Boca Bash happened last year. So
Gotcha.
Little quick breath. We can sneak in a little bit of a breath here. See if we keep pushing higher. Here, come on. Let's go test those 5,500s for Coach Jay. So there's about 500 sitting on the offer there. Again, we traded 3,500s yesterday.
all
Hogue.
right, NASDAQ is up here at the high of
35,
the
right?
15-minute
35.
range. We got a
Yesterday.
little bit more news coming out here at 10 o'clock.
90.
And
35
trying to sit
times.
back here, be patient.
We're getting down to
Get
those prices,
this,
so where we can
15-minute
buy it and
range
hold it
breakout
for
potentially.
2 weeks.
Potentially.
Yep.
What is it? What is it on the daily?
Three-day pullback.
Gonna fill this gap.
Testing it again.
Or come on, yes.
I'm gonna be fishing on Kona.
54.92.
Fishing on Kona.
Higher here.
All right, I'm going to cancel those bids for that pullback. At this point, if we pull back that much, I'll just
You're out.
get in if it looks good. Yeah, want to see us
Great.
take out this high here. All right, 80, 81 half. My stop is going to go.
What a pain
Hard
in
to
the
buy
butt.
high, isn't it, Jay?
Just a pain in the butt here.
It is,
Round
but
up, yeah. Never fun, man.
It's only the high
days.
until we make new
High
highs.
and higher.
What do you think?
My only
what's
mistake was
the-
taking that
What's
first-
the
that
like
first one
one
with,
thing that you? Ooh, there we go.
Being a little too eager taking
There
that
we
first
go,
one with
opening range
a
breakout.
mini. I feel like this is going to be a big move, so.
What's been
wanted to
the
try to take as
like
much
one
advantage of it
thing
as
that you
possible,
think that
but
you've had to
little
like
too eager
really
with that mini
battle the
initially.
most as a trader
Speaking of a big move
to get
here,
to where
Coach
you're
Who,
at now? Just
all-time high in the
That's
cattle.
a great question. Probably learning how
Yeah,
to
is it
do
all-time high in
things
cattle?
differently, Right.
Oof.
So for me,
All right, I'm out
Wait,
on that.
right
Took
on.
$100
I
there.
really focused
When we
on
didn't
when it
push
came
that
to
high
loss
up to
was like viewing it
5,500s.
as
I'm out
not
there.
a loss, but
And look at the selling
if
coming
that
yeah,
in.
yeah.
That would
Keeping
have
that
been my
capital.
add right to
Yeah,
those 74s.
exactly.
That's the biggest thing I
Bounce
think
right
people
back up.
forget about. At the end of the
See if
day,
this
like
holds.
managing your losses, managing your winners,
your
and all that.
exit
That's just
price?
it. Just comes down to being able to manage capital.
I got out at
Keep that
89.
capital in your pocket, and not somebody else's. All right, well, what a day
That's
here
nice.
so
Thank
far.
you.
Another
Full
pump and then
casual
a dump.
100-point candle right here.
Still
Topped out
flat.
at
Just
19,122 quarter.
trying to be patient here.
I'm out at 19,022. Last trade, 19,051. NASDAQ just, it's symbol blocker. Those J's
Oh
use
yeah, I'm
symbol
not
blocker.
touching that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
understandably
not touching
so.
that.
You're getting
Good day to have a
8-6
90%
spread right
sale
now.
at Apex.
yeah.
Good day for a 90% sale.
serious slippage. Hey, 5,100 people watching us all across the globe, and we got 5 minutes for
That was a
about 7 minutes
100-point
till
candle
the
back
top of
down
the hour.
here
We got the
now.
numbers. We got percent speaking. Click like, follow, and subscribe. And click that damn bell upper right hand corner of the YouTube. Click that notify.
To that 19,000 level.
Top steps.
That 5-minute
TV's
opening
coming
range
at you live.
for me.
Back into it.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right,
We
Eddie.
shall see.
Kind of bounced right at that previous
Middle of that
double
15-minute
top
range
from
so
the,
far is 19,015
15th,
area.
And then again on the 14th.
It's kind
Right
of
off those
holding up
sevens.
there.
Route. Yeah.
Okay, Eddie, we got about 5, 6, 7 minutes before the number. Right about this time every day, Monday through Friday, we come at you with the tip of the week. Pop quiz in the chat. What is the
Patrick,
tip of the
habla
week?
español.
First one in the chat that gets it. First one in the chat that gets it.
papi, poquito.
It's a little
get it.
prize. Tip of the week. Tip of the week. We're all watching.
Tip
All
of the
eyes
week.
on the. Hold on, Eddie. Hold on. Let's see who gets it in the chat. Tip of the week.
Tip of the week
week.
is
Yeah, no
when life
chat
gives
yet.
you lemons, demand salt and tequila. What I say.
Hold on here. Hold on. Close. Everyone's getting close. Good luck.
Still
The
just
judges are gonna be
holding.
all over this. Ooh. Hey, I think
Numbers
we
coming
got
out
one
here
there.
in about 5 minutes.
Did we get one?
Bab. I think
Yeah,
Bab.
I see one.
Yeah.
Bab.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I got Bab. Anyways, Eddie, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's. Oh, wait, we got the
Leverage
judges.
the
It's funny
power
because I
of
always try to like
trends.
have that rule of not
Yes, it is,
messing
folks.
around when we're like
That's
inside
what it
that
is,
15-minute
and
range, you know, at
congratulations,
open.
Yeah.
And it's so
Hey,
hard sometimes. Like,
efficient
it's
use
just
of
like,
capital.
especially on these
Now,
types of days where the market is just like
trading
kind of in
allows
that
for
range
better
stuff here. And you're like,
capitalization
you tell
allocation
yourself like, oh,
by
I'm not
avoiding
going to
that
trade it.
choppy,
I'm not going to
crappy,
trade it.
or
I'm not going to do it. And
directionless markets.
then you end up
Bigger
doing it.
moves, bigger
Always
rewards.
happens all
Now
the time,
trends
all the time.
often lead to
That was part of the reason I
extended price
tried the
moves,
5-minute,
offering
right?
Yeah.
Initially.
potential
Okay.
for
That
helps with
larger
that for me.
profits.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, simple strategies work
It's funny because I
best.
feel like that, you know, that's like
Trend-following
part of
strategies
like
can be
learning
effective
how to trade
without
is kind of figuring
overly
out how to like
complex
basically stop
indicators or
yourself from doing
systems.
stupid shit,
Make
right?
it
It's
easy on yourself.
the idea of
Good
buying
old
low, selling high, and all that. Like
Thank you,
it's not
Andre,
rocket
that
science,
is
but when it comes to
very
actually
power of trends.
like
Yes.
learning how to
All right,
trade
our
is
judges
really a
are reviewing
process
the
of
tape.
learning how to just stop
Under
yourself
review
from
right now.
doing
I
bad.
think we have a
stuff.
winner. I do believe we think we have a winner.
Very difficult.
Say it is
Way
Bab
easier
J.
said than
Yes,
done
Bab J. Do believe you got it. We'll reach out to you. You reach out to us, and take care of it. Good job.
The decision has come back from New York. Bad.
Yep, there you go. That is the final decision. Hogue
Very
is
simple.
the final
Big green candle equals
decision maker
short.
there.
Big red
So,
equals buy.
props for
Oh,
Hogue becoming next
Damn.
pope.
Drop
There's
of knowledge.
wow. Who would have thought? Warren Buffett in the fucking chat, boys.
Boots on the ground in the
That's
Vatican.
simple.
Man, oh
How
man.
have I not figured this out before?
Yeah.
Very simple trading.
They need
if
to
it's a
find a
big
book
red
that's like
candle,
maybe 30
you
years
buy.
old or
If it's a
something
big
like that.
green candle, you
I mean,
Yeah, I
sell.
can get a direct line to the future.
Would you
Get a lot of secrets there.
Yeah, would you let us know which way equities would go, Hogue, if you did?
As soon as I'm
The
in.
numbers. Would you let us know what the numbers are going to be before they come out?
As soon as I'm in.
The Vatican knows all.
Once he's
yeah.
once he's Pope, he can't be wrong.
Oh, finally. Famously right.
So
Famously right.
yes,
Did you ever miss
famously.
out the opening print from what Rake was talking about?
I haven't really thought about it
All right,
since now
Roger
that you brought
W,
it back
okay.
up. But I know about it, but I
Right.
haven't thought about it.
And they like the Pope outside
Basically
Basically
that
was in the
first
1300s, though. All right, well.
948 is the opening print today, basic or no?
Thank
Try
you,
our
Roger.
best here.
Descent speaking here, top
Yeah,
of the hour.
948 right now is the opening print.
What else we got at the top of the hour, Eddie? We got percent. Then we got
New home sales. Yeah, new
home
home
sales.
sales. You sell your new
Sweet.
home? There you go. New home
Nice, seems
sales
like a
and
cool
coming
dude.
up at 9:30.
Yeah, no,
I
As
didn't even know who he was.
Definitely,
crude
definitely
inventories.
been around.
Gabe in our Slack says better execution today, y'all. Good shit. Thank you, Gabe. That's in our Slack. You guys didn't see that. Shout out to Gabe. Great stuff, Gabe. Last couple of weeks holding it down. James Harden is back, everybody. Back from Japan, man.
But nice. Hey, Gabe did a great
Yeah.
job. JD did a great job. But missing the James. It's like walking outside with one shoe on.
Hey, he's back. This feels better now. All right, house account down. Oh, let's change that board. The overlay is not. House account is flat, I do believe, and we will get updated.
3 minutes. 3 minutes here till numbers come
I get
out.
long this again.
Right now, we're just kind of stuck here
we got
in the
number
middle
two.
of the 2-minute range.
2 minutes.
Yep.
Market could go really either way, especially with this news
got
coming out in
Jack
2
Russell
minutes.
Bezant bullish, correct? Bezant bullish.
Well, that has been the case. Let's see. Yeah, sure. My mother-in-law is bringing me coffee. That's always a pleasure.
Thank you, mother-in-law. Would she like to say hello?
Thank you, Annette.
Thank you, Annette. Or Annette. You don't call her mom, you call her Annette.
I think that's what most people do, right?
I've heard
Call my mother-in-law Ma.
15-minute candles, not looking very pretty right
There you
now.
go.
We had this huge move up
Italian, though.
overnight.
Hey,
It's funny because I thought about trading
boom,
last night. I was
baby,
actually, we were
19,000.
watching something on TV, and I was looking at my
That's
computer, and I was like, ooh, maybe I'll put a trade
tilt.
on. Then I didn't do it.
No.
Should have just bought that bottom there and just sold it at the high this morning. It'd been a lot easier than doing this shit.
You know, it's VIP check-in season. VIP check-in season. You already know.
I don't even know what to do here.
Stay tuned. Might be having another
You're
one
watching a
coming
movie?
everyone's
Or should we
way.
I'm watching Severance.
Season 2 is
I
coming
just
to a
started
conclusion.
it.
Season
But,
3?
like, getting through the first season. Pretty
Getting
cool
ready.
show.
Getting ready.
To be honest, I wasn't that sold on it, and then I started
one comes
watching it. I
in.
was
Not
like,
gonna
oh,
tell you
it's pretty
when.
cool.
Yeah, it's
is
super
coming.
slow.
Yeah.
First, it's really slow. But like what, 5? What episode are you on?
Like 6 or 7 in the first season.
Okay.
Yes, my mother-in-law
So
does
it's
live in
pretty good.
Cicero.
Yeah.
Trading with Brad. When is the VIP drawing? Oh, down the road. Down the road. We gotta get all the
Watch a lot of
check-ins
shows.
first. More time to check
Yeah,
in, the better
I mean,
chance you
I'm
have
trying
of
to,
being
like, I normally
selected,
go to
being
bed around
drafted
like
to
9
season
o'clock,
3.
so we'll maybe watch something for an hour, like 8 to 9, and then go to bed,
Ooh,
like, pass
20
out.
seconds.
Jay.
20-tick spread here in the Nasdaq right now.
What's your
Really?
favorite
Which is
show of
super
all time?
thin.
Oof.
What a
Yeah.
question, I know.
Game
All right,
of
new home
Thrones,
sales are
I
looking at
mean,
around
is there a
685,000 prior
Game
to
of Thrones?
676,
I don't
coming
think-
out
I
here in
don't
about
think
5
so.
seconds.
Kinda still.
And,
Ending kind of sucked, but
Yeah, well,
on the
they had to
button.
just fucking ruin it for everybody, you know.
Second here. Coming out big, much higher, 724,000
When do you wake up? I wake up like a 4.
versus the 685. New home sales change
4 or
month over
5 in
month.
the
They were looking at
morning. Depends on the
1.3,
day.
7.4%.
Depends on what's on my plans for the day. Oh my
Once again,
god.
your new home sales, they were
These
looking at
candles, man, are
685,000,
insane
coming in
right
at
now.
724,000.
All right, we got the
Home sales
news.
change. They were looking at 1.3%. Big. 7.4 is the actual. Back to you, Andre.
Yeah, Eddie, that month over month, that is a big, much better than expected. 7.4% versus 1.3% expected.
Just basically
Huge beat
tested
there.
the entire
US
opening
home
range, or
sales
we
changed
tested the
month
high of the
over
opening range
month.
again there. Took out the 140s.
Scheduled to speak
What in the fuck?
now. Any moment.
Hit it right into that resistance that we had there earlier.
It's a big. Oh, look at gold, not done. New
Anybody
lows.
get
Gold.
short at 140s?
32.75.
Do you want to listen to Bassett in the background? I think they have a link there.
Anybody get
Yeah,
short
you
at
got
the
it.
140s and just
Probably should.
cover
You
at the
speak like
900s?
tariffs, no?
At the 19,000s?
We pushed up into that order at 5,500 and didn't trade one contract of it. It's still sitting there at 556. Feels like we're just kind of building momentum to take this out on a comment.
Gold down and to the right.
I
Down and to the right.
Very
Gold.
careful trading the gold, the Nasdaq especially right now.
New lows gold. Gold is just getting absolutely pummeled right now. 32.74. Last trade.
I know a lot of people say you can't trade the news. All I'm saying is that there's going to be some ripper candles probably a while.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
For sure.
You use that as you may.
Sure. Jack, what'd you say 10-year yield is?
Damn.
Severance is better
Around
than the Game of
4.3,
Thrones.
so
Wow.
that's some
Someone
relief
paid money to
there.
Put that in the chat. Wow.
Bold take. Great show though, but I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know if it's comparable.
Lows
It's a little
gold.
different.
Yeah,
you know,
Jack, I
one was
100%
filmed
agree
in
with you. I think this
an
is definitely
office
not the
building
environment
with,
to go with a mental
walking around
stop.
hallways all day, and the other one's filmed in a fucking
It's like Mike Tyson
another
says, right?
world.
Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. That candle is going to
Every
punch
time I
somebody
see
in the
that
face
actor,
when
I
it
don't know
happens.
his name.
Oh my
The main
So just have
character.
an idea
yeah.
of where you want to get
John,
out. If you're
Jon
going to
Snow.
trade this right now,
Oh no.
I'm going to stay
The
patient.
main-
I have an idea of
from
where I want to get
Severance,
into this.
yeah, yeah.
Reminds me of
I
Step
wouldn't be
Brothers.
surprised.
Yeah.
at,
Did you ever watch
a
Step
little
Brothers?
Yeah,
flush
he looks. The
first.
problem is like he looks like
before we get
he
there,
looks
but-
rough in Severance.
My
He
plan
does
is to
look
get
rough in
long.
Severance.
I mean, I know that's kind of the character he's playing, but like he just looks rough. I'm like, dude, looking rough.
Gold is just getting massively pummeled. 32.71. We're down about
People don't say that about me.
230
Billions.
bucks.
Oh, I forgot about
240
billions. I mean,
bucks
that's the thing,
from
right? Like
yesterday.
billions is it's not. It's a totally different world as well. I think billions is financially billions is definitely like the best
Besant.
TV show when it comes
Besant?
to like
I don't pronounce it
kind
just
of
yet.
Wall Street emulation.
I've heard
of-
both.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I mean, I've seen maybe the first season.
You've never watched Billions,
Besant.
bro? You gotta just go home after this and start binging.
Like Besant.
Don't ever come
Besant.
back.
Cent?
I am not uncertain. Tradeify, are you
Besant.
not
I'd go with
uncertain the
Besant.
market's
Good
gonna go
question.
up or what?
I would him. I'd go with percent.
Succession.
54.76.
Succession is not better than
54.77
Billions.
last
Succession
trade.
is like it's
Yes,
cool, but it's
very,
not
very thin on the
better than
ladder.
Billions.
The only thing with real direction
I
right now
haven't seen
is
it, actually.
gold, as we've been
Never watched
saying.
Succession
Just
either?
getting
This guy.
absolutely pummeled.
Come on, man.
32.71.
I usually watch when I do watch TV. It's with my girlfriend. And she doesn't.
Yeah,
Just waiting for
you
those
watching
comments to come
Love
out.
Island and stuff.
Treasury Secretary is starting to
Love
see
Island. Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, cool.
Virgin River.
Virgin River. Brokeback Mountain.
Being the greatest economic minds of their
I mean,
generation.
Yellowstone, another epic show as well.
That's
build
yeah,
a
we
new
World War II
financial
fresh,
system.
so.
That's a good one for both the girlfriend and for the boyfriend.
New Hampshire,
Yeah, they're
they laid the
country,
foundation
my girlfriend's family is
for
very
Pax
country at heart. They have
Americana.
a house in Georgia,
Yeah.
Ridge,
Bretton
and so
Woods
that kind of hits
recognized
home for her, I think.
that a global economy required global coordination.
All right, we
To
are right
encourage
there in
that
the middle of the
coordination,
15-minute
they
range.
created
I don't
the
know. What do you
IMF
do here?
and the
We've
World
had
Bank.
literally just
These
candles
twin
up, candles
institutions
down.
were
It's
born
fucking
after
madness.
A period of intense geopolitical and economic volatility.
Peaky Blinders.
The purpose of
That's
the IMF
Pretty good one
and
too.
the
I mean,
World Bank
there's a lot of good
was
shows out there, to be
better
honest.
align national
Ozark.
interest with international order.
Great shows, well.
Thereby bringing
Problem is you just don't have enough
stability
time to watch
an
all of them.
unstable
Yeah.
world.
You gotta
In
really
short,
dedicate some
their
time and energy.
purpose
Yeah, it's a
was
very
to restore
hefty time
and
commitment for a lot of
preserve
those, especially if you
balance.
don't start watching
This
them when they come
remains
out.
the
Yeah,
purpose
oh yeah, yeah.
of
You gotta
the
catch up.
Bretton
You gotta
Woods
catch up.
Couple seasons to catch up on.
institution.
Have you been to the
Everywhere
Ozarks
we
before?
look across
I
the
have actually.
international
Lake of the
system
Ozarks,
today,
fucking wild. There's
we see
more
The good news, it doesn't
more
have to be
coastline
this
or like
way.
more shoreline,
My
I guess you
goal
call
this
it,
morning is
in
to
Lake of
outline
the
a
Ozarks
blueprint
than the
to
entire
restore
like East Coast
equilibrium
and
to the global
West
financial
Coast combined
system
of America.
and the
I didn't know that.
institutions
There is so much
designed
fucking
to
water
uphold
there.
it.
A lot of water there.
I have
Got
spent
so much
the bulk
water
of
there.
my career from the outside looking in
Yeah, I
on
did my
financial
undergrad in
policy
Arkansas.
circles.
Oh, okay.
Now
Fucking
I'm on the
Arkansas
inside
boys.
looking out.
That must have been a
I am
adventure.
eager to work
It was.
with
It was.
each of
Northwest
you
Arkansas
to
is a lot
restore
different, though, than I would say
order
the
Oh, okay.
to the
vast
international
majority of
system.
Arkansas.
To achieve
Probably the
this,
only place I would
however,
really spend
we
time in
must
Arkansas.
first reconstruct the IMF and
Cool place.
World Bank.
Well, the NASDAQ
with-
just
or
kind of holding
reconnect
up
the
here,
IMF and
still
the World
stuck,
Bank
going nowhere
with their
quick.
founding missions. The IMF and World Bank have enduring value.
Kind of getting tighter though.
Mission creep has knocked
you
these
guys watching?
institutions off course.
What are you guys watching?
We must
Treasury
enact
Secretary
reforms
Percent
to ensure the
speaking
Bretton
on
Woods
terrorists right
institutions
now.
are serving
Talking
their
to the world right
stakeholders,
now, Michael.
not
What's up,
the other
man?
way around. Bringing balance back to global finance will require clear-eyed leadership from the IMF and World Bank.
See, now it's like
This
mentally,
morning,
I'm just like, all
I
I'm
will
thinking about is
explain
if I
how
get
they can
long here,
provide
it's going to
that
dump
leadership
100 points
to
straight
build
down, and I'm just going to
safer,
lose my whole entire
stronger, and more
account.
prosperous economies all around the world. I wish
like it
to
hasn't been as
invite
bad
my
in a
international
while.
counterparts to
No, yeah,
join
I
us
mean, it
in
started getting
working
better,
toward these
and
goals.
then last
On
night, I
this
mean,
point,
you have a
I
huge
wish to
gap
be
up. Like,
clear.
what do you know? What's the market going to
America
do?
first does not
I mean,
mean
it's just fucking massive.
America alone. To the contrary,
We're up
it is
three,
a
almost
call
what,
for
3.6%
deeper
on the day right
collaboration
now.
and mutual respect among trade partners. Far from stepping back, America First seeks to expand U.S. leadership in international institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. By embracing
like
a
yes or no
stronger
that we're putting
leadership
together.
role, America First seeks
You've
to
done one of these with
restore
us before, Michael.
fairness
See how
to
it's
the
about bringing people to
international
the table?
economic system.
It's
Nowhere
tell
is
us
the
that.
imbalance
Someone
I
said rocket
mentioned
ship
earlier more obvious
to
than in the world of trade.
19,270.
That's why the
Oh,
United
Lord.
States is taking
ready, we're
action
dumping,
now
boys.
to rebalance global commerce.
Get ready,
For
boys, we're
decades,
dumping.
Successive administrations relied on faulty assumptions that our trading partners would implement policies that would drive a balanced global economy. Instead, we face the stark reality of large and persistent
Yeah, I don't know
U.S.
how you deal with
deficits
some of the
as a
people in the
result
chat.
of
I
an
think about that when I'm
unfair
on, 'cause I never-
trading
Oh, the chat's
system.
the best. We love the chat. It's so much
Intentional
fun
policy
talking to all my
choices
little
by
friends.
other
So many rich
countries
people in the chat.
not
Every day
followed
I'm always
America's
amazed. I'm like, man, it's so cool that
manufacturing
all these
sector
amazing,
and undermined our
successful,
critical supply
rich
chains,
traders are just
putting our national
watching me live
and
on YouTube.
economic
I'm just, it's a,
security
an
at
honor,
risk.
really.
President Trump has taken strong actions to address these imbalances and the negative impacts they have on Americans.
I'm
The
excited to see
status
Rips
quo
come.
Yeah,
of
yeah, Rips is
large
gonna be
and
here in
persistent
June.
That'll be
imbalances
really cool.
is not sustainable. It is not sustainable for
All
the
right,
United
NASDAQ
States,
back down there.
and ultimately it is
Again,
not
up, down,
sustainable
all around.
for other economies. Now I know sustainability is a popular term around here, but I'm not talking about climate change or carbon footprints. I'm talking about economic and financial stability, the kind of sustainability that raises standards of living.
Still just right
and
there in the
keeps
middle of that
markets
15-minute
afloat.
range here.
International financial institutions
And holding.
must be singularly focused on upholding this kind of sustainability if they are to succeed in their missions. In response to President Trump's tariff announcements, more than 100 countries
And again, just
have
right back up there to the
approached us,
60s.
wanting to help rebalance global trade.
15 approached me
These
last night.
countries have responded
you
openly
traded.
and positively to the president's actions to create a more balanced international system. We are engaged in meaningful discussions and look forward to talking with others. China in particular is in need of a rebalancing. Recent data shows the Chinese economy tilting even further away from consumption toward manufacturing. China's economic system, with
All
growth
for the outdoors,
driven by
taking a
manufacturing
$3,000
exports,
payout. Let's go.
will
First
continue to
payout. That's
create
epic.
even
After
more
a year.
serious imbalances with its
Getting
trading
paid, baby.
partners if the status quo is allowed to continue. China's current economic model is built on exporting its way out of its economic troubles. It's an unsustainable model that is not only harming China, but the entire world. China
Well,
needs to change.
I don't know if
The
we're just going to go
country
sideways
for
for
freedom
the
needs to
rest of the
change.
day here, or
Everyone knows it needs to change, and we
like
want
right
to
now.
help it change because we need rebalancing too. China
Would
can
seem
start
like it.
by moving its economy away from export overcapacity and towards supporting its own consumers and domestic demand. Such a shift would help with global rebalancing that the world desperately needs. Of course, trade is not the only factor in broader global economic imbalances. The persistent over-reliance on the United States for demand is resulting in an ever more unbalanced global economy. Some countries' policies encourage excess savings, which holds back private sector-led growth.
I mean, maybe if we
Others
get
keep wages
back above that
artificially
19,100 area,
depressed,
maybe we start
which
moving
also
up there,
suppresses growth.
kind of towards that 200s
These
next. But
practices contribute
right now,
to
just
global
can't
dependence
move.
on U.S. demand to spur
The
growth.
Bears and the Bulls.
They also lead to a global
win, Michael?
economy that is weaker
Yeah, I got
and
short.
more vulnerable than it should be. In Europe, former
Higher lows
ECB
on the 2-minute
President
chart.
Mario Draghi has identified several
See.
sources
That's
of
good.
stagnation,
Yeah, what
and
made
he
you
has
start trading the
outlined
2-minute
several
as opposed to-
recommendations.
You know, I
to
was
get
always
the European
trading the
economy
1-minute
back on the
chart,
right
and then
track.
I went to the 3-minute chart,
European
and
countries
then I went to
would
the
do
2-minute
well
chart. So
to
basically,
take his
I was like,
recommendations to heart.
I thought the 3-minute chart was good,
Europe
but then I was like,
has
it's
already
crude
a
tangy.
little
taken some
faster.
long
So then I went to the
overdue
2-minute.
Initial steps
I know that sounds just like
I
kind of
applaud.
like a stupid
These
answer,
steps
but
create
that was
a
kind of
new
why.
source of
That one.
global
I feel like the
demand.
1-minute chart
bid
is
stepping
also
into
a
it as well.
lot of like
Europe
fake outs.
before
You
72.
get too
on
trapped. You get
600.
too trapped looking at every
I
little
believe
move.
global economic
Kind of
relationships
plays against you
600.
sometimes. So
reflect security
Crude
partnerships
getting hammered right now. Crude new low, $60.
are
avoid
more likely to
certain
have
things and
compatible economies,
kind of create maybe a
structural
system
Crude down a
structures
buck.
for
Crude down a
forces me
buck
to
in this
not
5-minute
beneficial
candle.
trade. If the
not be
United
too
States
sporadic
continues
or just
offering
too
security
crazy or whatever it
guarantees
is.
and open markets,
Just trying to implement
then our
something to
allies must
slow
step
my
up
roll,
with
baby.
stronger commitments to shared
Find what works
defense.
best for you, right?
There you
initial
go. Just trying to slow
actions
that
from
roll.
Europe on increased
Hanging
fiscal
out
and
up
defense spending
Sure, Michael.
are
Crude
proof
getting absolutely
that the
smoked.
Trump administration's policies are indeed working.
Nasdaq trying to push up here
The Trump
now.
administration and the U.S. Treasury are committed to maintaining
Out
and
there in the
expanding
90s
U.S.
again, kind of that
economic leadership in the
19,100
world.
area.
This is especially true at the international financial
See if we get to
institutions.
that level
Crude
there
down
next.
$1.40.
The
40 is 5-minute
IMF
candle.
and World Bank serve
it's
critical
not
roles
moving
at all.
in the international system,
It's
and the
moving
Trump
over.
administration is eager to work with them so long as they can stay true to their missions. And under the status quo, they are falling short.
That's
The
the strength
Bretton
and the
Woods
smart.
institutions must step back from their sprawling and unfocused agendas,
Oh, man.
which have stifled their ability to deliver on their core
Took a stab
mandates.
along it.
Going
Taking a stab
forward,
long?
Yeah, went
the
long
Trump
at
administration
1978.
will leverage U.S.
We got a
leadership and
long.
influence
He's long at the
at these
78s.
institutions
I prayed
and
for you,
push
son.
them to accomplish their
No, I think you're
very
good.
important
We're going to get it right through there,
mandates.
baby.
The United States
go straight up,
will
NASDAQ.
also
Michael,
demand
you're
that
flat
the
now.
management and staffs of these institutions be
Go right to the
accountable
50s there,
for
150s.
demonstrating real progress. I invite all of you to join us in working to refocus these institutions on their core missions.
There's that
It
100
is in our
break. Do we get
collective
continuation
interest
now
to
through the
do
opening
so.
range high there, 115
The
area or so?
IMF. First, we must
Try to
make
take out
the
that data
IMF
high
the
or this
IMF
candle
again.
from earlier, that
The
140 area.
IMF's mission is to promote international monetary cooperation facilitate the balanced growth of international trade, encourage economic
Right there
growth,
at the top of the range again.
and discourage harmful policies like competitive exchange rate depreciation. These are crucially important functions to support the U.S. and global economies. Instead, the IMF has suffered from mission creep.
Right now,
The
Apex
IMF
is
was once
90% off,
unwavering
by the
in
way.
its
That's right,
mission
90%
of
off. Everybody
promoting
wanted it. You
global
got it.
monetary
So be happy,
cooperation and
happy. Hit
financial
the like button.
stability.
Let's
Now
subscribe it up. Fucking
Disproportionate
NASDAQ
time
once again
and
is right back
resources
down
to
there.
work on climate change, gender, and
Crude
social
absolutely
issues.
smoked.
These issues are
61.80.
not
We're down
the
$2.
IMF's
Down
mission.
$2 in crude.
And the IMF's
Stopped out or
focus
still
in these
holding?
areas
Still
is
holding.
crowding out its work
Stopped
on
out there.
critical macroeconomic issues.
One's got
The
smoke.
IMF must
Wish I
be
closed
a
up there for
brutal
500
truth
too,
teller
should've.
and not just to some members.
OPEC news.
Just
Today,
pull it back there into the 50s
What is it,
again.
Eddie? Quickly, what's the
IMF,
output news?
The IMF
More output?
has been
Members,
whistling
I
past
want
the
to group
graveyard.
another
Its
accelerated
2024
oil output increase
external
for June.
sector
Right, output
report
increase.
was entitled
Thank you, Eddie.
Imbalances Receding.
Crude
This
down
Pollyanna's
$1.50.
outlook
And this-
is symptomatic
Crazy.
of an institution more dedicated
Yeah,
to preserving the
that short on.
status
Well,
quo.
I don't
than
want to say
answering the
that we
hard
talked about it,
questions.
but we talked about
Here in the
today
United
just not knowing
States,
what the fuck
we
to
know
do. This
we need to
insane
get
gap
our
up this morning.
fiscal house in order. The last administration ran up the largest peacetime deficit in our nation's history. The current administration
Still just kind of holding
is
the middle of that
committed to
15-minute
fixing
range for
this.
now.
We are open to critique, but we will not abide the IMF failing to critique the countries that most need it, principally surplus countries. In line with its core mandate, the IMF needs to call out countries like China that have pursued globally
Selling off
distorted
right now.
policies and
73.
opaque currency practices for many decades.
600 lot. Filled.
I also expect the
Good.
IMF to call out unsustainable lending practices by certain creditors.
No, Sean, I got
The IMF
I'm not sure.
should push
I got
more
shook.
proactively
it wasn't going.
Sorry, Zaz.
official
486.
bilateral lenders
Zaz wants everyone to
to
shut
come
up.
to the table early to work with
And again, back
borrower
there into the
countries
middle of the
to
15-minute
minimize
range.
periods of debt distress. The IMF
That's
must
short.
refocus its lending on addressing balance of payment problems, and its lending should be temporary. When done responsibly, IMF lending is at the very core of its contribution to the global economy. When markets fail, the IMF steps in and makes resources available. In exchange, countries implement economic
Bruce said
reforms
short the bottom,
to resolve their
short
balance
the
of
top,
payments
long the
issues
bottom. All right,
and
Bruce.
support economic growth. The
Perfect
reforms
plan.
undertaken during these programs are some of the IMF's most important
NASDAQ back
contributions
down here,
to a
kind of maybe take out
strong,
that 19,000 area
sustainable,
again.
and balanced
VWAP
global
is all the way down
economy.
there,
Argentina
18,898.
is a fitting example. I was in Argentina earlier this month to demonstrate the United States support for the IMF efforts to help the country reset financially. Argentina deserves the
short down
IMF
from,
support because the country
1950s
is
to the top
making
of
real
that
progress
5-minute opening
toward
range.
meeting financial
Closed out.
benchmarks. But not every country is so deserving. The IMF must hold countries accountable for implementing economic reforms, and sometimes the IMF needs to say no. The organization has no obligation to lend to countries that fail to implement reforms. Economic stability and growth should be the markers of the IMF's success, not how
You a big
much
movie guy
money
too, or just
the
really watch shows?
institution lends out.
Yeah, do it all.
selling
Little movies, little
companies.
shows, a little bit
World
of
Bank.
everything. You know, you never know. Just
Like the
kind of
IMF,
make a little bit
the
of
World Bank
make a little bit of money,
must
enjoy a little
be
bit of
made
life. No,
fit
I do.
for
I'm a,
purpose.
I used to be a film
Jack,
editor, so
the
I kind of
World
enjoy
Bank
a
group
enjoy a good
helps
movie.
developing
Definitely, yeah.
countries
What's your favorite movie?
grow their
Oh, God,
economies, reduce
Stop
poverty,
favorite
increase
movie. I
private
mean,
investment,
fuck, it
support
sounds
private
stereotypical.
Did you manually
sector
cut
job
it?
creation,
I mean, Wolf of
and
Wall
reduce
Street.
Manually.
dependence
I mean,
on
it's a
foreign
good
aid.
one, man.
Our
Leonardo.
goal is
It's on off.
transparent and
Fucking Wolf of
affordable
Wall Street,
long-term
come on.
financing for countries
It's a good one.
My
to
favorite
invest
Leo movie.
in their own development priorities.
I do
The
like a
bank,
good
along
Leonardo
with the fund,
DiCaprio.
provides extensive technical support.
All right,
promotes debt
NASDAQ. What you
sustainability
gonna do?
among low-income countries.
Still moving
Which
down here through the
empowers those
19,000s.
countries to stand up to coercive
Or-
and opaque lending
still moving down,
terms,
but moving through the 19,000s here.
talking.
These core functions of the
yeah.
World Bank complement the Trump administration's efforts to foster safer, stronger, and more prosperous economies in the United States and the world. But the bank, like the IMF, has strayed in certain respects from its initial mission.
The bottom of the
bank
15-minute
should
range
no
is all
longer
the way about
expect
100
blank
points lower
checks
from
for
here.
vapid,
So
buzzword-centric marketing accompanied
Do we
by
go all the way
half-hearted
down here?
commitments to reform. As the bank returns to its core mission,
Hard
it
to
must
say.
use its resources as efficiently and effectively as possible.
we're losing a lot of that
And it
support
must
there.
do so in ways that
Kinda broke
demonstrate
through the lows
tangible
there.
values for all member countries. The bank can use its resources more efficiently now by focusing on increasing energy access. Business leaders the world over identify unreliable power supply as one of the primary impediments to investment. The World Bank and African Development Bank's Joint Mission 300 initiative to expand energy access to 300 million more people in Africa is a welcome effort.
19,000 right now,
But
holding up his
the
support
World
here
Bank
on the
must
NASDAQ.
respond to countries' energy priorities and needs and focus on dependable technologies that can sustain economic growth rather than seek to meet distortionary climate finance targets. We applaud the recent announcement
Crazy.
that the World Bank will seek to remove
See, I wonder
prohibitions
if
on
obviously like if
supporting
Twitter
renewable energy,
was tweeted or
which could
talked about
revolutionize energy
there
supply
at
for many
9:36
emerging
this morning.
markets.
Like if that
We
wouldn't have
encourage
happened,
so you
where
add
would
to
we
that
be at right now? You know, would we have
giving
started to pull
countries
back a lot
access
No, I've
harder?
been
at
peeling
all?
it off.
technologies
Where would
that
we
can
be?
provide
still
affordable
coming in.
baseload generation.
Without the power of
The World
social
Bank
media to
must
move
be
the market.
tech neutral and prioritize affordability
No
in
social media?
energy investment.
Definitely broke by the
I like to
most
say that, you know,
cases,
I'm not a
this
big fan of
means
social media either,
investing
but,
in
you know,
gas and other
I do a little bit of social media.
fossil-fuel-based
Green
energy
yellows.
production.
I mean, I have a Twitter.
In
about
other
that?
Yeah.
cases,
Green
this
yellow.
may mean
Actually,
investing
You're not
in
on there
renewable
arguing all day with
energy
people about,
coupled with
you know, what's the best
systems
strategy
that
for
help
trading.
manage the intermittency
That's always my
of
bad.
wind
Never
Like,
watched the
I
Treasury
love when
Secretary
people
dissent
they'll go on
speech.
fucking Twitter and they'll argue
Humanity
with
to
random
support
people for hours. And I'm like,
energy
you're just arguing with some
abundance
random ass person who you have no
sparks
idea
economic
where they are,
abundance.
who they are. They could just be like
That's
some
why the
10-year-old
bank should
kid
encourage
who's literally
an
on Twitter making
all-of-the-above
fun of you,
approach
you know, like
to energy development.
I just don't see the.
Such an
just makes no sense
approach
to me.
will make
Right.
Life's
World
too
Bank
short.
financing
Way too short.
more
Get
effective,
pissed about that.
and it will reconnect the bank
Says
to
the
its
man on
core
YouTube. Well, I
mission
mean, you know, hi,
of
big buddy.
economic growth
Haters
and
gonna hate, players gonna play,
poverty
baby.
alleviation.
all right, well,
In
I mean,
addition
NASDAQ
to
definitely
increasing
looking like she wants to
energy
move
access,
lower now,
the
but
World Bank can use its resources
who the
more
fuck
effectively
knows?
by starting to apply its graduation policy.
Mike.
This would allow the bank to focus on lending
Ben Johnson, this
to
guy's
poorer,
dry.
less
Welcome to watching
credit-worthy countries.
These type
Someone
of
said, do I
folks.
manage
Where
my
World Bank
savings
support
years I've been
makes the
watching
biggest difference
Federal
on a
Reserve,
longer
poverty
time
and
frame?
growth.
Mostly just
Instead, the World
I have,
Bank
like, my
continues to
401k
lend every year
and all
to
that
countries that have met the
Kinda long-term
criteria to
investments.
graduate from World Bank borrowing. There is
Got my long-term
no
investments. About you? You got some
justification
long-term
for this
investments?
continued lending.
other than Bitcoin.
It siphons off resources
nah,
from
just
higher
the 401k,
priorities
stuff like that.
and
Yeah.
crowds out the development
That
of
right
private
hand's getting
markets.
pretty tired.
It also
I find it's easier just to, like, not try to mess with it.
Because
Because when you start messing with it, that's when you start messing with it. Thinking about it too much. I try to forget about it.
Going
Yeah.
forward,
Like, I don't even think
the
about
ba-
that money.
the
I'm like, I don't
bank
even.
must
If
set
someone asks me how much money I have, I'd be like,
graduation timelines
I have
for
all the money I have
countries that
minus my 401k.
long since met the
Yeah, it makes no
graduation
sense to really stress about it,
criteria.
right?
Yeah.
Just leave it there.
Not
Treating
gonna lie,
China,
it's like
the
I had a
second
friend of mine.
largest
He's like,
country in the
man, do you
world,
think I should
as a
should I
developing
sell my
country
should I start
is absurd.
selling some shares and
While
then
it
buy
has been at
lower?
the
I'm like,
expense of many Western
I mean,
markets,
maybe,
China's
but like, how do you know
rise
it's not
has
gonna
been
go
rapid
higher from here? You
and
know,
impressive.
Anything from
If
China?
China wants to play a role
Trying
in
to
the
time the
global
market.
economy commensurate with its
wish
actual
first.
importance, then the
Yeah.
country
Thousand offered
needs to
54, 60,
graduate.
70 years.
About it from a macro perspective like that
welcome
either.
that.
To
Yeah.
The World
Flash
Bank
basics.
should also
I mean, nobody knows. The whole
implement
macro,
transparent
it's-
procurement policies
nobody fucking
based
knew that
on
Trump was
best
gonna
value.
last night
It
post that
must help
China
countries move away
tariffs were
from
gonna be
procurement
less.
approaches that
You know, it's like,
prioritize
how do you
only the
know
lowest cost
what
bid.
fucking Trump's gonna tweet?
81%
Such
long.
procurement policies reward distorted,
just yapping now?
Just about
subsidized
anything.
industrial policies that undermine development. They may also stifle the
talking to the
private
algos.
sector and incentivize
I know.
corruption and
NASDAQ
collusion.
right
I
here
gotta
in
use
the
these.
middle
I
of
gotta
the
use these
opening range.
keywords here. Hold on, let me finish this off.
Just kind of holding on for
Procurement
now.
policies
Just stuck
based
there.
on best
Can't go
value
lower, can't go
are better
higher.
from both an efficiency
Going
and
sideways here.
development perspective, and their robust implementation will
plans for
benefit the
international
bank
travel
and its
this year?
shareholders.
Yeah, I actually have a trip planned for
Related to
next
the
month.
subject,
We're
I
going
wish to
somewhere, a
send
little
a
surprise. I would
strong,
say where we're
I
going, but
emphasize
then
strong
Victoria would know
message
it's a
about
surprise for her
procurement
birthday. So
policies as regards
everyone will find
Housing's
out
back.
once I
69
arrive
orders.
in this location.
who financed or
Put a
supplied the
blindfold on her.
Russian war
Won't let her see.
machine
Sure is.
will be eligible for
Phil.
funds earmarked
Phil,
for
wow.
Ukraine's reconstruction.
I don't think I'm supposed to see that either.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she's turning
To
24.
conclude, I invite our allies to work with us as we
Hold on,
rebalance
Crew,
the
might be on a
financial
little bit of a delay.
system,
We might be on a little
refocus
bit
the
of a delay on
IMF
this
This
and
speech.
market
World Bank
is
on
so
the founding
stupid right
charters.
now.
America
probably
First
what
means we are doubling down on our engagement
Guys, we're getting the feed.
with
We
the
don't know
international
how
economic
the delay is.
system